Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to Tuesday, the 29th of August. It's 60 degrees out here. So I guess the old Southern boy in me come out in true colors last night. Kelly goes, I don't know how you slept through that. I go, what's that? She goes, from 2 to 4 this morning, hail, lightning. She goes, and you know how you count the seconds once you see the flash? She goes, it was like flash, bang. It was very loud, and the hail hitting our, metal roof. She goes, it was so loud. And she goes, kept checking in on you, and you were just out cold. I've always loved thunderstorms, and I probably went into a coma during the thunderstorm. That's some good things for me, boy. I love that thing. It's like was that last Friday or whatever, it was raining and thunderstorming that one morning. That's so weird. It's just like last Friday, there's nothing saying this was coming. Crazy weather. 68 and cloudy today in Vancouver. It's weird to have this almost fall weather already.
I know, it's very strange.
And August is still...
It's still August.
You got some days left.
Yeah.
Oh well, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mama,
it's a hope.
Made it Tuesday.
We did.
Hope you have a nice day.
I hope
everything
you do
goes
too.
smooth. I hope that for myself as well.
Yes.
Anyway, I'll let you go.
Alrighty.
All right. Love you. See you. Bye.
Love you, baby.
Bye now.
Bye.
So I finished this gal up this morning. It's all shiny and new. Gained a handful of BMWs since I was here yesterday. They all come rushing in this morning. I don't know what I got next. I need to go check it out. So Paul and all you others that complained about the tires on this GSA, those Metzler Karoo 3s, they are grossly loud. But anyway, I went to the GM about swapping the tires. He goes, good Lord, Smoke. He goes, that's going to cost me $1,000. I said, well, a good solid 600. And he goes, well, isn't there another one that you can take from up there? Well, I picked this one specifically for two reasons. One is GSA, and it has that adaptive headlight on there. You know, if we're out doing dark stuff or whatever, the way that thing contours to the road and the turns and everything else, you know how I am with mountains and stuff. I don't want to be somewhere and traveling down some road with a cliff on one side and not be able to see everything. Yeah, and I've already set up my little power output lead. I've switched all 8 of the tumblers, which are keyed to the bike now. So if I swap the bike, it'd be a mess. And then he got a phone call right quick, and he's just standing off to the side, and I look over, and there's a GS sitting there with the Bridgestones, Battle Axe, whatever they're called. I think those Bridgestones were on the last 2 GSAs I had. And they worked fine. I ended up putting the TKC 80s on there, but they were fine. Seemed quiet enough. They look like they're an 80-20, probably more like a 90-10 tire. They're mostly street, which will be fine. These things, I'm not sure what they are for sure, but they've got to be 50-50. I mean, that's pretty big cleating on there. So anyway, I see that sitting there, and he gets off the phone. He comes over, and I said, I could swap the wheels off of that GS. He goes, well, is that the same wheels? And I go, exactly the same. He goes, are you sure? GS. I said, I can absolutely unequivocally guarantee you they're exactly the same. He goes, fine with me. So what I'm going to do, because I don't want to, it's just a pain in the butt. I'm not going to drive back and forth in the rain. I don't want to knowingly take it out in the rain. I know There's no way we'll make this whole trip and not hit rain sometime. But that's part of the ride. I'm not purposely going to go drive in the rain. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the wheels off of this tonight and swap them with a GS that we have. And it's in demo status too. And so it's got miles on it. But anyway, I'm going to swap the wheels. There's one catch to this though. When I put these wheels on that GS, I've got to relearn the tire pressure monitors, or the RDC as BMW calls it. I got to relearn these wheels to that GS. Well, problem is when I bring the GS wheels back home, the GS wheels are obviously not going to match this. So until I get this thing down to work and I can hook it up to Diag and switch it, there's a mode you can go in there and you can turn off the tire pressure monitors. So I'll just turn them off until I can get to work and relearn the GS wheels to this bike. But anyway, let's pull these wheels off. Because this is a BMW red, this is BMW blue, and a medium Loctite will work on these. But that's kind of a pink, I guess you would refer to as red. These are as well. And that's a 2701 is the equivalent in a Loctite if you don't have a new bolt. They want you literally to replace the bolt every time. And those ones, like when we're doing putting the drain on there, this comes from the factory this way, but they don't even suggest a Loctite. They absolutely want that bolt replaced. So anyway, knock this little fender guard out of the way and we'll go from there. You can see it's kind of pink. That's whatever micro encapsulated stuff that is, and and this bolt here. And you only have to take this off if you have to inspect or replace the drive shaft as part of that recall. Just pivot it down and pull everything out, or inspection, make sure everything's greased. But anyway, go to the other side. You don't have to take because the disc and everything stays with the drive shaft. It does. The wheel comes off just like a car wheel, and we'll swing over that side and take that off. So it's best to use some kind of an extension. If you have an extension ratchet, that's even better yet. And do these things in a cross pattern, like I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 lugs, so you got to do it in a weird rotation. And you probably see the electric gun there. That's after everything's untorqued, and I zip them off except for the last one. And and then you grab the wheel, zip the last one out. She comes free. But yeah, those are torqued at 60 Newton meters when you go back on. And I do them in 3 steps. So once you get it loose, it rides on this inside collar, and I just drop it to the ground. I'm probably in the way, but she just walks out. There she is. Free as she be. So I will put a tie down on the center stand to make sure I don't get crazy doing something here, and push the bike forward, because you push them hard enough, they'll roll off the center stand. But I'll jack the front end up, and taking the front end off is a whole nother ordeal. Like I say, the front is a little more detailed, so you need to remove both calipers. And before you let this thing hang, take these little quick release tabs off, so your ABS lead wire floats, and then this holder is held with the upper caliper bolt. So you got to remove both calipers. Make sure you remove the ABS sensor, because it rides really close to the trigger wheel, and you lose. The thing can move around, you can hit it. I've seen people, as they pass the disc, as they're rolling out, they'll hit the tip of that and break it. And this is part of the procedure when you look in the book. Take that out. Just loosen the bolt. It's captured on the lower stanchion tube here, right there, so it's not going to fall. There's a bolt in the back holding that, so it'll just dangle out of the way. Just don't leave it in the holder. So I can show you. You can actually see how close. If you can see right there, that's a sensor right there. That's really close. Really easy to hit. Not as much hitting this, but catching the disc as you're rolling out. And yeah, that wheel is heavy enough. Once it's in motion, that sensor, you can just shave the tip of it, and that is not cheap. And you won't believe where that thing's wired in to get that thing undone. You got to take the fender off, and I think you even have to loosen the lower where the brake hose wise off to the two calipers. I think it's going above that, so you got to get that out of the way. You do not want to have to replace that sensor. It's stupid expensive, just among other things. But and then I hope I have some more of those here. I use a little bicycle bungee cords, and I just snag the cable and grab something up here and just let the caliper dangle. Otherwise, it's beating, banging, they're floating around, hitting everything as you're taking it out. But I don't know what I have here, but I'll come up with something. And then this nut, this is just on the end of the axle. And then once you have the calipers out of the way and this nut off, you unloosen both of these pinch bolts. And there's where that one extra tool for 2019 and newer from Cruise Tools, because the 18 and behind doesn't have as large of a Allen. But I got another thing that works on that. But that just comes out. And then roll the wheel out. And if you're taking it to a dealer or whatever, take your collars and set them aside. Do not rely on the dealer to keep track of your collars. If you can't do anything with them, make sure that somebody at the service counter puts them in a bag with your name on it and set it aside for you to get them when you come back to grab your loose wheels. The collars get lost all the time. Don't leave them in there, and nobody, not a dealer anywhere, is going to keep them collars in stock. So if they get lost, you're without a bike. Luckily on the BMWs on this side, the axle is the collar. So you just got to worry about the one over here. Don't worry, it's not going to be in a dirty environment where dirt's going to get inside there. They're sealed bearings. Just wipe it out. You should, touch some things with some fresh grease on the seals anyway. Just clean everything up. Dirt getting in there is not getting in your bearings. They're sealed bearings. Happy as you please. I couldn't find my little bicycle, little mini bungees, so those little tie-down straps. Doesn't need to hold much. You just want it to dangle out of the way. The other side's the same way. So take your ABS sensor out. That's a T30 Torx. Your two caliper bolts, those are 13 millimeter. Your end cap axle holding bolt here, that's 17 millimeters. And then it's a T45 on the two pinch bolts. Take those out. Takes a 19 millimeter Allen, whichever version or how you have that. This is just one of those little cheapo multi 17, 22, 24, and a 19. It pretty much covers any motorcycle with that type of axle. Put your axle in a clean place. It's well greased. This is the way it came from the factory. We don't have to put the front wheels on anymore. And did I tell you 13 millimeters for those? So let's go over Torx. When you go back on the ABS sensor, that's 10 Newton meters. Your caliper bolts, they're not a pinch bolt or anything. They're radial mounted, so they're just bolting straight on there. Those are 38 Newton meters. This end cap one is 30 Newton meters. And your pinch bolts for the axle is 19 Newton meters. And that's it. Just that simple. Make sure your pucks are spaced out before you start. And the thing got out of my hand. It slipped when I was trying to tie that, so I grabbed it and it made my pads move. You can see the other side should be perfect. Yeah, but I just lost control of the little ball there. That's all there is. And from there, you take your wheels to the local dealer, take your collars out. So let's just do that right now. Set it right there by the axle. Do not take them with that collar in there. I just set this by the old Ackwell, and as you can see, the axle is the collar for the other side. So there's no collar on that side. And those are sealed bearings, like I say. If you're worried about it, put some tape over the end of them. Nobody's going to drop garbage down in there, and it's a straight flow through anyway. So a spacer in between there. But there, we're just going to swap the wheels and relearn the tire pressure monitoring system. That way we're not swapping tires or nothing. Just swap the wheels. And I put a bottle each of Ride-On in them as well. We just got a good stock of it, so. Anyway, there we go. Tires for the GSA. Kind of looks creepy sitting there dangling in the air though, doesn't it? And if you're wondering why I double stack those things, yes, the jack is far enough to do that, but when you have those extended really high, they get wobbly. So I just stack them and put them both about the same. Or if you got a nice big chunk of wood, you can stick that underneath or whatever that can hold a bike. And you don't have to go, like I say, you don't have to go crazy with the tie down. It's just so you don't accidentally move it forward. But you'll sit there till tomorrow. There we are. See, I can show you guys stuff here. I've got a camera coming. It's pretty cheap, but it works good. I already have one of them. It's a newer version of it. And anyway, that'll work great as a hat cam for doing these things. And the newer version, the battery lasts a lot longer. The other one was like 10 minutes and it ran out. So it was a pain to try to use, so I can do this a little bit better. The GoPros are too heavy. I used to do it with the Hero Sessions, but nowadays that quality of those is pretty bad. So anyway, there we are. It's probably dark out there. We need to go do a goodbye. Well, hello there, YouTube. No, that's not like weird white balance. That.
The party thing.
Yeah. That's putting a nice glow on us. Yeah. We're glowing. But anyway, how's that for a tech talk day? I probably recorded way too much and I have to figure out how to cut her down to a reasonable length of time. But that's fun. I can do that stuff at home. Even though it's a store bike, I can do whatever I want as far as, taking it apart and putting it together.
Because you are certified.
I'm certified.
Yeah.
I just can't do it in the confines of the shop on a customer's bike. Not even on my own bike in the store. The lawyers say, no.
Nada.
Crazy world.
I know.
What? I mean, Tim and I talk about this stuff. He's not that much younger than I am. And so, he's of the right generation that, the stuff that's going on now is just ridiculous.
I know.
But anyway, can't change it.
No.
We're sliding out, they're sliding in. So
yeah, let it be.
Lord help the future.
I know.
But anyway, on that, we're going to bounce.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up. And you guys have an amazing Wednesday or Thursday.
Heck yeah. All right.
We see you in the morning.
See you then. Bye-bye now. Thanks for watching.
Yes.